All right, so this video is going to be a TMI video, obviously, by the title below on my IUD experience. So if you do not want to know about it or are not comfortable with talking about stuff like that, then this video isn't for you, and that's totally okay. But just wanted to give you a heads up. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background story as to how I decided to get the IUD in the first place. I went in for my 6-week appointment with my doctor after having my baby, and we discussed some different options that there is to have. And we talked about, with the IUD, which she said that she had, that you don't bleed and that you can have it in there for up to 5 years. So, you just place it in there, forget about it, and, hopefully, you don't have your period and you just, you're good to go for quite some time. So she said that she has it, she really likes it, and a lot of the girls in the office, they have it, they really like it too. And also I have some friends that have it as well, and they said that they like it. And so, I decided, why not? That sounds like a great idea, because taking the pills is kind of a pain, and having to just remember it every single day, so on and so forth. So she placed me on the pill because you have to order the IUD and it takes about a month to come in. So I just took the pill that she gave me. She had a sample there in the office. We asked, do you have a sample? So I don't have to go to the drugstore or anything like that. I could just take what you have. So she gave it to me. And within like the second week, it's like started to make me bleed, and I was like having a period, and it was just so annoying. And I had kind of been bleeding like throughout this whole entire time after having the baby. I bled like the whole initial about 3 weeks, and then it kind of stopped, and then I was still like kind of spotting and all that. So I wasn't really thrilled when I started the pill and it started to make me bleed again. So I was looking forward to the IUD coming in. So the IUD came in and I was able to get it placed on January 8th. But before you're able to get it placed, you have to get your blood work done 24 hours in advance to make sure that you are not pregnant. So I went in, got my blood work, and then the following day on the 8th, I got it. I went in to get it placed. So I went in. You obviously have to get undressed from the bottom down. And when she came in, I have to lay down, put your legs up, and the whole routine of getting checked down there. So she started off by putting in the clamps, the forceps. I'm not too sure what they're called exactly, medical term, but to open you up. And then the first thing that is placed in there, I believe, from what I understand and what I have read back then, I don't even remember exactly, but they clean you out with some iodine or something to make sure everything is clean and clear. And then they go in with a tube. They put the tube in there, and once she placed the tube, I was like, oh my goodness, it brought on the most crazy cramps, like contractions, and it was extremely uncomfortable and pretty darn painful. I'd say it was like, probably on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I'd say it was probably an 8.5, 9. And it kind of just progressed. It was just like really, really strong. So she put in the tube, and then after that, I thought, that was the IUD, like that was it. And she's just like, okay, we're gonna put the IUD in now. And I was like, oh Lord, help me. So the IUD is a little T-shaped object, and she put the IUD in, and it was just like even more pain. It was such an intense amount of cramps and pain, and I was just, oh man, I wasn't expecting that, because she said it'd be a little bit crampy. So I was expecting, for it to be uncomfortable, a little bit crampy, but I wasn't expecting to feel the amount of pressure and cramping so strong that I did. So, she had to get those little big things that look like Q-tips. I'm not even sure what they're called, but the gauze wands. And for lack of better terms, she was having to use quite a few of them to try and stop the bleeding. And so, because I was bleeding a lot and I could feel it, like I could feel that I was bleeding a lot. And so I'm just like, oh man, like this is, I'm telling you, this hurts. This hurts a lot more than I was expecting. So We got it in, and after that she said, we're going to give you an ultrasound, because they give everybody an ultrasound right after you have it, so to make sure that it's placed in well. I had my ultrasound and it was placed well, so it was good. So I left my two girls, and as I got in the car, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain. So I had ibuprofen there. I took the ibuprofen. And before I had even went, I took an ibuprofen because I was like, I'm going to be in some pain. I'm going to be in some cramping, So, but when I got in the car, I took another one. So it was just like, because I was in a lot of pain. So I drove to my mom's, and the pain just started to increase and increase. And I'm just like, my goodness. Now, if you've had a child, you know what it's like to have those uterine cramps and contractions, especially like when you breastfeed right after having the baby. It's intense. And that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like I had just had a baby. And so it was painful. So I drove to my mom's house. We got some lunch, and I was just sitting there in so much pain. Like, so much pain where I felt like I couldn't even really move. And my baby was hungry. So, I had to feed her, nurse her, and that causes even more stronger uterine contractions. So I was just like a mess sitting there. And thanks to God for my mom. She's an awesome nurse. I love my mama. She was getting me some heating pads to put on my stomach, those little heating beans that you stick in the microwave and you put them on. She was warming that up continuously for me, and it brought on some comfort to ease the pain, but it was just so painful. So I was able to finally, after it subsided a tiny bit, get in my car so I could get home to put my girls down for a nap. Now, I went to take a shower after I put my girls down for a nap, and I started to undress. I looked in the mirror, and I had all these red marks across my stomach, like blotchy red marks. And I was like, what in the world is this? It scared me because it was just like right where my uterus is. And I went out the bathroom to the living room and showed my husband. He had just gotten home from work, and it was crazy. Like, the most I could describe it is like it kind of looked like a hickey, or like um, a red birthmark. It was just really hard to describe. So my husband was looking it up on the internet, and there was things that said that you could get hives, and we were looking at it. It definitely didn't look like hives. I'll insert some pictures into this video, and my camera does a good job at kind of like clearing up the redness, so it doesn't even show the real true red pigmentation that was going on. But I'll give you an idea of what it looked like. I called the doctors immediately. It was like 4:45 in the afternoon, and they were getting ready to close. I left. They said that they were going to send me over to my nurse to talk to her. She didn't pick up the phone. I left her a message, and I didn't ever hear back from them until the next day. By then, it had went away, thanks to God. And so I didn't need to move forward with making an appointment. So thanks to God, it was fine. But later that night, I was still continually cramping pretty bad. It was kind of hard throughout the night, and just kind of had a hard time sleeping. Was just going through a lot of cramping and discomfort. And so by the next morning, though, actually the whole next morning I was still in pain too, but like around 1 2 it started to subside and it went away. And after that, it has gone away. I haven't really had any cramping, so to speak. But I have been having bleeding. On some days there was a lot within the first week, a lot of blood. And I was told that, to expect for up to a month of spotting, but this was like a little bit more than spotting, like not like soaking up pads, but an uncomfortable amount of blood. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks that I've had it in, and I'm not experiencing any more pain. I'm still spotting quite a bit, and so hopefully it'll all clear up. Now, I think I have the Mirena IUD. I'm not too sure. I will be seeing my doctor here soon, because like a month after, you got to get it checked to make sure that it is still placed in right. She has to like feel for the string, or you could feel for the string for yourself. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just do it myself. but I believe that I have the Mirena, and if I don't, then I will leave down in the description what it is that I do have. So I don't want this video to like completely scare you. I just want you to be aware of what could possibly happen. Now, just one of my really good friends, she said that this had happened to her as well. But also I have like friends that absolutely love their IUD and that it has not caused them any issues. So you just kind of never know. Now, I don't know if I would ever go through this again. I don't know. It's hard to say because like right now I'm starting to feel better, and for up to 5 years, that's really cool. But that first 24 hours was so much pain that it just like wiped me out. I wasn't able to do anything or move around, and that's kind of hard when you have two children. So yeah, so that was my experience. Don't want this video to be a really long video, and if I think of more information and details that I feel that you guys should know, then I will definitely update you guys. But I just wanted to share my experience because I feel that it is important, and I haven't seen like really a whole lot of videos like this on the internet. So yeah, this is my experience. And I'd love to hear your guys' experiences with the IUDs down below in the comments. That would be awesome. Just to let me know like what you think about it or what your experience is, and so on and so forth. So, all right, well, I hope you guys liked this video, that it was informational for you. So please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below and share with a friend. All right, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. God bless.